Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Syncretism Society Virtual Academy. And my name is Mehmet. And today's lesson is part 3 of introducing the signs and the ruling planets. If you haven't already seen part 1 and 2, you can do that in my archives. The way I'm doing this little series is through seasons. So part 1 was about the spring season of the signs Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. And then the previous episode, part 2, was about the summer season of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And today we're going to be concentrating on the autumn season, which we currently have just entered with the signs of Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Another quick thing I want to say is for the viewers who people who watch my videos, someone asked why I don't do all the astrology videos like one after another. It's because I kind of do 2 types of videos. I kind of do the more esoteric occult stuff, and then I do one lot on simply astrology. So for those who are interested in the more esoteric stuff, that is like usually uploaded in the first part of the week, and my astrology videos are usually uploaded from like Wednesday onwards in the second part of the week. So for anyone watching, whichever one you're interested, you know when to look for it. So like I've mentioned in my past 2 videos, my main book of reference, which I read from, is The Practical Astrologer and New Astrology. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get into the first sign of the autumn, which is Libra, and then we're going to talk about its ruling planet, which is Venus. So let's go. The element which rules Libra is air. Its mode and its quality is cardinal. The ruling planet is Venus, and the symbol is the scales. So Libra is best understood through its symbol, the scales or balance. The scales were originally those which the Egyptian gods used to weigh the souls of the dead. And Libra is a sign which spends its life weighing up different possibilities. Few signs are so aware of different choices and possibilities as this one. Often, Libran types are crippled by indecision, unable to make a firm choice and face a commitment that this involves. Some Librans resolve their dilemma by making a choice, and even though it may not be the best option, sticking to it through thick and thin for the fear of having to make yet another decision. Where are we? Bear with me. Sorry, here we go. Ideally, Libra's function is to resolve opposing possibilities and to seek a third way. Being an air sign, Libra can use its mind to help with its resolution of all conflicts. This sign is ruled by Venus, and one of its major priorities is to establish harmonious and balanced partnerships. The importance of successful partnerships is such that Librans will conceal those parts of their character that they may imagine might offend other people, such as displays of anger. Librans excel in groups of people. They are born diplomats, bringing enemies together to make them friends. Their charming artistic qualities enable them to create beautiful and pleasing environments. This sign's paradox is that it aims to create a balance which can never really exist in a world undergoing constant change. Librans need to learn flexibility and to realize that their efforts to control the environment are unlikely to be successful in a world which contains 11 other signs. Also, just to add to that, in each one of my shows, I'm talking about where Libra connects in medical astrology, and Libra rules the kidneys. Obviously, it says here its symbol is the scale, so we have 2 kidneys, so they symbolize Libra, and it's also just at the waist, at the halfway point of the body. And obviously you can see, let me bring my board just to show you on the sine wave how that correlates. So You can see Libra starts at this point, starting the fall or the autumn. And as you can see, I've syncretized it. So you've got Libra, Scorpio, and Sag, which are the three signs I'll be talking about today. So Libra is the halfway point of the year, and it's the halfway point of the day, and it's the halfway point of the body. It's the waistline and the two kidneys. So I'm just showing you how that syncretizes in relation to the sine wave. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to read about the ruling planet of Libra, which is Venus. So if you just bear with me for a second. Right. So Venus. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Venus was the goddess of love in Roman times, but under other names, Ishtar, Astarte, and Aphrodite. She was worshipped in all ancient cultures. In astrology, Venus rules the female half of the human psyche, showing feminine and female qualities in both men and women. In the main, these qualities are soft, loving, diplomatic, artistic, creative, and sensitive, but they also have a harder side to them. In political astrology, Venus also rules a victory in war. The major rulership of Venus The major rulership of Venus is over all close partnerships and relationships, including marriage. In order to succeed in a relationship, most people develop the Venusian qualities of softness, sensitivity, diplomacy, but negatively, the planet can become envious, jealous, and aggressive. By examining the position of Venus in the birth chart, the astrologer can deduce how it will affect their partnerships and whether these will be formed easily or not. In a woman's horoscope, Venus may show the image of female behavior to which individuals aspire. In a man's chart, Venus may reveal the expectations of women and the type of women he finds attractive. Venus rules all objects and behavior which are pleasant, pleasurable, beautiful, graceful, and attractive. Some people born with strong presence of Venus in their birth charts become artists, while others are drawn towards self-indulgence and the pursuit of pleasure. So that's really interesting, actually, what it's talking about, where Venus is in your birth chart, how it produces love in people, artistic people, but also if it's in like a weak placement, it will cause someone who's very self-indulgent. Like for example, I have a good Libra Venus placement. My Venus is actually in Libra, and I can say I am quite a diplomat when it comes to making the peace between people, and I'm also a very artistic person. So I can definitely back what this is saying through myself and just through what I've seen through other people. Librans are very, very artistic people. I do know a lot of Librans who are really artistic people. And also what it said in relation to the sign about indecision, that is also very true. And again, this ain't me having a dig at Libras, but I find Libras are always the ones late when there is some kind of gathering or meeting. And again, that is due to their airiness, the element, and also, like it said, about their indecision of whether to do this or to do that, makes them spend a lot of time on things as well. So yeah, but what's interesting is like the planet Venus is about like partnerships and like relationships, and so is the sign of Libra. Whereas obviously Venus also rules in Taurus, but that's more in relation to earthly stuff, if that makes sense. So another thing I forgot to mention before I got into this is that each season has its humor. So spring is hot and moist, summer is hot and dry, and then autumn is cold and dry as well. So that's just a little, it's got almost like a vibe that rules the season. So obviously in autumn we get like the leaves falling down, so everything starts drying up and it's almost going through a death to come back round at spring. So moving on now, we're going to go to the next sign in the autumn season, which is the fixed sign of Scorpio, which is my sun sign, and I have 3 planets in Scorpio. So I'll get to that once I read a bit more about it. So Scorpio is ruled by the element of water. Its quality is fixed. Its ruling planets are Mars with Pluto as co-ruler, and the symbol is the scorpion. Scorpio is the deepest of all the signs and takes its cue from the scorpion, a creature which prefers to live in the dark and which is liable to react with a sharp sting when disturbed. The intense emotions of this sign are toughened by Mars and given an obsessive quality by Pluto and challenged into a rigid mold by a fixed quality. Scorpio types develop passionate interests and devotion to causes which they pursue with death-defying dedication. Those under this sign have instinctive sense of what is right and what is wrong, and though this may be in contradiction to accepted morality, it is nevertheless provides a powerful personal motivation. Scorpio types fall deeply in love, but if hurt or rejected, can spend hours plotting bitter revenge. They are usually interested in things deep, dark, or hidden, which cover a range of activities. They may become psychologists, therapists, archaeologists, historians, healers, miners, potholers, astronomers, astrologers, detectives, or members of mysterious religious cults or political groups. The Scorpio solution to any problem usually, let me start that again. The Scorpio solution to any problem is usually complete and total change. Its colors are red and black, and are the colors of the anarchist flag. The sign's great weakness is its inflexibility and reluctance to change. Its strength is its powerful commitment. So also in the body, Scorpio rules the genital system. So it's also a lot to do with sex and reproduction, which is why it's ruled by Mars. It's like the passion of Mars, of lovemaking, but also the Pluto side of it is to do with death and rebirth. It's because also for people that know or may not know, Scorpio in esoteric sciences is not just ruled by the scorpion. You have the eagle, which is more connected to Mars and the war side of it. They're fighters. And also you have the snake, which the snake side of Scorpio connects more with Pluto and shedding its skin. Scorpios are constantly having new beginnings and shedding their skin. So that's also another 2 other important animals to pay close attention to when you're looking into Scorpio. And definitely I can agree what it says about historians, healers, miners, astronomers, astrologers, and they like mysterious religious cults or political groups. So definitely I love astrology, astronomy, healing, and I love digging deep and looking at stuff that is really hard to find. Scorpios are really good at searching the occult because, like it said, we're very determined to get to what we want to find and get to the end of it. So what I'm going to do now is talk about the planets in relation to Scorpio, which are Mars and Pluto. So we're going to have 2 planets to talk about in this section. Bear with me. So Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. As the god of war in classical mythology, Mars rules energy, enterprise, and dynamism, action and self-assertion. It also rules objects connected with heat and violence, knives, guns, explosives, fires, and so on. In medical astrology, it is linked to higher temperatures, feverish complaints, accidents, and all problems requiring surgery. By its placing in the birth chart, Mars reveals a person's general energy level and overall behavioral pattern. It will show some manner in which the practical issues, affairs, and problems of the world are approached and handled. Because it is partly concerned with action in the outside world, Mars reveals a lot about the way we express ourselves to others. Mars has a specific function in relationships. If Venus is the force of attraction, then Mars reveals the active impulse which causes people to seek out each other. Venus and Mars together reveal all possibilities in a complete emotional and sexual relationships. Psychologically, Mars rules the internal image we have of the ideal man. In a man's chart, it may show the role model he is obliged to live up to. In a woman's chart, Mars will show she manages with her own male half, as well as indicating her expectations of men and the type of man who attract her. The colors associated with Mars are red and bright yellow. So now moving on to the co-ruler, which is Pluto. So Pluto is the co-ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is the planet at the furthest edge of our known solar system. Although research indicates there may be other planets yet to be discovered, astrologers combine the distance, mystery, and darkness of Pluto with God's classical rulership of the underworld to provide the planet's astrological attributes of deep, dark, and unfathomable power. Pluto is preeminently a planet of transformation. The changes it brings are often the most profound kind, completely revolutionizing attitudes, beliefs, and behavior. It rules the deepest instincts of the unconscious mind, which, when they become dominant, can lead to compulsive and obsessive behavior. Pluto is also connected with the underworld, crime, communism, and modern depth psychology. Plutonic individuals often show a passionate interest in the mysteries of life. They tend to be dedicated, persistent, and obstinate in following particular courses of action. Plutonic activities and interests include anything with the element of mystery. Some people take up magic, the occult, spiritual healing, or mystical religion, while others pursue more orthodox investigation and research in whatever field they are involved. Plutonic people make reform and renewal of their highest priorities. And again, I can totally relate to that because I actually have Pluto in Scorpio in my chart. So like it says here, like magic, the occult, spiritual healing, and mystical religion, totally 100% that is me. And like, for those who have watched my video, they will know that. So yeah, Scorpio, so very deep. It's kind of tough being a Scorpio because I kind of think like we know things before many people. And when we warn them, they don't kind of seem to take our word too seriously. So it can be frustrating on that level. And I kind of find, because of Pluto and this constant death and rebirth, we're very nice. Scorpions are very caring and loyal to others, but can be quite self-destructive. And I can totally see that. But I do believe that that self-destruction always kind of helps us go to the next level. I mean, I've gone through many death and rebirths, especially like recently since I've got into the more spiritual side of myself, because here explain that the Plutonian energy on a more day-to-day thing is about like history and everyday research. But in recent years, I've got into the more religious and spiritual research. So I can definitely confirm that this is true by what it's saying. So finally, what we're going to do now is move on to the final sign of the autumn season, which is Sagittarius, which is another sign. I have a lot of Sagittarian energy in my chart. Also, I actually have 5 planets or 5 orbs in Sagittarius. I have Mercury, Uranus, Jupiter, South Node, and Neptune all in Sagittarius. So although I am a Scorpio by sun sign, I actually have more fire energy in my chart, and most of that comes from my Sagittarius placements. So we're going to read about Sagittarius now. So Sagittarius, The element is fire. The quality and mode is mutable. The ruling planet is Jupiter, and the symbol is the archer. The Sagittarian archer is a centaur, a creature with the rear quarters of a horse and the torso, head, and arms of a human being. This suggests a complicated nature combining beast with human, instinct with reason, and body with spirit. Sagittarius' deeper purpose is to reconcile these opposites. This paradox in the sign's nature is difficult to detect, only emerging in the form of sudden and changeable enthusiasms. The combination of mutability with fire makes this sign unstable. Its plans are often dropped before completion. In this characteristic, Sagittarius takes its nature from the flying arrow. It is more important to travel than to arrive. This sign is marked by long journeys, whether of the mind, spirit, or body. As it is the sign of Jupiter, the ruler of wisdom, Sagittarian journeys are often idealistic experiments in religion, philosophy, or the arts, where those desire to elevate the human spirit. Sometimes the journeys are physical. Sagittarians are often possessed by wanderlust. The purpose is the search for the truth. The lesson to be learned by Sagittarius is that, like the arrow in motion, the truth is difficult to pin down. The sign's great strength lies in its optimism and enthusiasm. Its weakness is its impracticality. If Sagittarian's faith is strong enough, the lack of material success will prove to be no problem. And again, I can totally relate with that, what it's saying about like religion and philosophy. That is another major interest and passion of mine. And again, it's just, I have so much Sagittarian energy in my chart, so it totally makes sense. And also I have they're all in the 5th house, which is the house of expression and creativity and fun. So this is kind of all my creativity comes through in a very Sagittarian way. So what I'm going to do now is move on to the planet which rules Sagittarius, which is Jupiter. Jupiter rules the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces. Jupiter in astrology shows two faces, both taken from classical mythology. On the one hand, Jupiter was the great king of the gods, dispensing justice with supreme wisdom, while on the other hand, he was a licentious womanizer and a glutton. In astrology, Jupiter is quite simply the planet of growth and expansion. These can take place in any realm, spiritual, emotional, mental, or physical. Depending on the location of Jupiter in the horoscope, Jupiter does everything on grandiose and inflated scale. At best, it is wise, generous, and bountiful. When it is completely uncontrolled, it can become wasteful, extravagant, and indulgent. Again, totally agree. I actually have Jupiter in Sagittarius, and again, like it says, like with religion, philosophy, and higher knowledge, it's like we love it in abundance. When I say abundance, like it don't stop. So I can totally relate to that. Jupiter has specific associations with religion, belief, philosophy, and law. It shares with Mercury homogeny over reason and intellectual processes, but whereas Mercury rules knowledge and communication of knowledge, Jupiter brings wisdom and understanding that enables utilization of knowledge. Like Mercury, Jupiter rules travel. Through its journeys are long voyages of exploration and adventure, whether physical, spiritual, or intellectual. These are the means by which Jupiter accomplishes its principal aim, to grow. Traditionally, Jupiter has always been known as a planet which brings good fortune, rewards, and opportunities. It is not, however, sufficient in itself, and to make Jupiterian a good fortune permanent, Saturn is necessary. So just to touch up on the medical side of things, Sagittarius rules the hips. And also it's the ninth sign. So number 9 is always to do with spirituality and divinism, because it's like the highest number. So it means reaching your highest self. This is why it's to do with religion, philosophy, and spirituality, and long journeys. Like it was saying, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the physical, it can be spiritual. I've been on many, many long journeys in my mind, and been to places what I've just thought up in my mind. So yeah, that totally makes sense. So just to finish up, what we're going to do is we're just going to go through each sign again, and we're going to go through the bullet points of each sign. So if you just bear with me for a moment while I find this. So here we go. So Libra is the 7th sign of the zodiac. Librans have the following characteristics: justice, gentility, aesthetics, equilibrium, charm, and idealism. Libra sins may include self-indulgence, manipulation, indecision, procrastination, and talkativeness. Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac. Scorpios have the following characteristics: dedication, inspiration, sovereignty, tenderness, magnetism, and discipline. Scorpio sins may include mercilessness, sadism, fanaticism, suspicion, revenge, and I can't read that word, intransigence. And finally, Sagittarius, the 9th sign of the zodiac. Sagittarians have the following characteristics: cheerfulness, valor, open-handedness, honor, solitude, reason. Sagittarius sins may include outspokenness, recklessness, carelessness, bad manners, and contradiction. And also, I forgot, there's another little bit I didn't read at the top. Sagittarius is from November the 23rd to December the 21st. Its ruler is Jupiter, its element is fire, and its quality is mutable. And I'll do Scorpios. Scorpio is from October the 24th to November the 22nd. Its ruler is Mars and Pluto. Its element is water, and its quality is fixed. And finally, Libra is from September the 24th to October the 23rd, with its ruler being Venus, its element air, and its quality cardinal. I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. Like I always say in my lessons, if you have anything to ask me, feel free to message me on the inbox on the Virtual Academy, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And the last part of introducing the signs and planets will be about the winter season, which will be about Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Also, once we've done this, we will go into a lot more detail in other parts of astrology, like we'll talk about how the planets correlate with the days and the chakras, and we can talk a bit more about medical astrology. So this little kind of series of introducing the planets and the signs is just to get a basic foundation of everything. And then as we do that, we can move on to more intricate stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm Mehmet. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out.